in
Yeah.
terms of like shows. I haven't. That's why it's funny because that background. I remember where I used it. It was from Chocolate Sundays when they were doing the Zoom version of their
So
shows.
you did some like Zoom shows?
I did. I did. There were some pretty good ones too.
Really?
Yeah, some pretty good Zoom shows.
I didn't do any of those. I did one. Um, I did one and I didn't like it. And then I did another one that was for that app. What's that app, like Laughs or something like that? The
Um, sorry, hold on.
I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, the Laugh Lounge app. I
I
did
did
theirs,
Laugh Lounge. No, I don't remember
but they
Laugh
kind of
Lounge.
had like a cool studio and like state of the art, shit and cameras and big screens where I can see the people that were actually watching me.
Dude, there was some. Like I said, like Laugh. I remember Chocolate Sundays was good. They had like the audience was all there for comedy, so it almost like they would unmute everybody so you could hear the laughter, which was good. Um, Ron Vi Liz Stone used to do a cool one too, Wednesdays and Sundays. That was a pretty good one too because everybody that was there for the show. I remember doing a shitty corporate one. Like I hate the work ones. Like I hate the ones where it's like everyone's at their house and it's like a work party. And if they don't like you, they get up. And it's like couches. It's like couches looking at you, or just black screens with people's names on it, like Greg.
Yeah, they don't want to turn their camera on. Like the one that I did was sort of a corporate. Like this guy does shows in apartment complexes, and then when the pandemic happened, he was like, "Well, we're gonna do it on Zoom." So like he would go from like apartment complex to apartment buildings and be like, "Hey, it's comedy night in your apartment complex." And then we were doing them over Zoom, and people just didn't want to turn their camera or microphone on. You have no idea if they're laughing. You're just like,
Uh, Look, the sentiment. I feel like the sentiment's there. I don't. I'm not going to be mad at people that tried to pass the time during the pandemic. I
yeah, I
get
ain't mad
it,
at you for trying.
but there were some shows I wouldn't do, to
Hmm.
be honest.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't like a comedy situation where people knew it was a comedy show and it was like people were there for the show.
Yeah.
I just didn't do them.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I wouldn't do
Yeah,
a lot of them either.
wasn't a fan.
But I mean, yeah, I hear you. Now that you can actually go and perform live, like that's nothing beats that.
Yeah, I won't lie. Zoom made me miss getting booed, or I'd rather be booed, bro. Like I don't want to. I mean, I think this the black screen, like when they just flip it
Yes.
like this, like just one of those, and like picture
Even
like
worse.
30 people doing that,
Yeah,
like
I know.
just I don't
Just
want
a
that.
bunch of these little black cubes, and then you'd be like, I
Yeah.
hope you guys are liking this, and then someone turn the mic on and be like, yeah, we're still here, and then turn the mic off again.
I'm like, that's because they don't want you to see them laugh, or
Uh huh.
some people would go off and do their business or
Yeah.
whatever. I've had situations where like a couple would go off and mess around.
I did a dirty joke, and somebody was like, well, my kid is here, and I'm like, well, I can't see. Like,
And also, why is your kid? You're the parent, right? Like you can dictate what the kid watches. Like I don't know.
yeah,
I
I'm
don't know
not
what
the
you thought
parent.
this was. Yeah, I'm not the parent. Like, I'm
You're
gonna
the
say the
parent.
word. I'm gonna say the word fuck, and if he's there, you should hit yourself for having him in the room. I mean, is he
Yeah.
there when you're watching porn? Like, think about that, man. He's not there when you're on your laptop searching, you know,
Yeah.
for tits.
Yeah,
Is he?
exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. So he shouldn't be there for a comedy show that probably has swearing in it.
Yeah. And that's why I don't have kids, by the way. I would probably be a terrible parent.
You got. Wow. I mean, what are you? You're married young, man.
Yeah.
There's still time for you to have kids.
Right. Yeah. Do you have kids?
No,
No?
absolutely
How old are
not.
you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in my 40s, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not
Wow.
having
You
no kids.
dodged it this whole time.
No kids.
I was
I have
just.
nieces and nephews.
Yeah, me too.
There's my experiences for kids.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
Me too. And I love them, but I get to leave. And
I love them, and then they talk.
yeah.
You know, I love them when they're cute and they don't talk.
Yeah. I was just.
I mean,
I was just with
two
my
or
friend.
three.
This might be me trying a bit on you, but this really happened. I was with my friend
Okay.
and he has a kid and we went out. We were like hanging out and he took his kid and he just let his kid go play with all the other kids that are like also like 5 years old, right? And the kid had his shirt off because it was at the beach, and all the other kids had their shirts off, and they're all just running around and stuff. And towards the end of the day, he was just like grabbing his shit, and he goes, "Hey, dude, can you do me a favor? Can you grab my kid? Because we're going." And I was like, "Dude, I have to be 100% honest with you. I have no idea which one is yours."
That's right. But
he was like, "Bro, how do you not know who my kid is?" And I said to him, "I go, you should have had a black one, because then like don't hang out with a bunch of white kids and throw another white kid in the mix."
I agree. If it was Jamal, I'd be like, "Yep, he's right there."
Yeah, dude, like dress him in an orange shirt or put a Sharpie on him or something. Like, I don't.
It's stupid.
Well, let's get to know you, dude. Let me welcome everybody to the show, like officially.
Please take your seats. School is now in session.
Welcome to Homeschooled Podcast. Homeschool.
The Homeschooled Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
It's time to document the journey.
Welcome back to Homeschooled Podcast. I just want to thank everybody for coming out to my show this last week, and I had 2 shows in Millbury, Massachusetts, which is just outside Worcester, and it was just fun to be back in Boston. It's like one of my favorite cities. Shows were a huge success. Both of them were packed. It was good to see some friends. So if you're at the show, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Is that where you're from originally? Is where you're from?
No, I'm originally from Los Angeles, but I moved to Boston when I was young, like 18, and then my father's not a sports guy, so like I got into sports there. So I became like a Boston dude, and I just have
Boston's
so many,
great.
like guys that I consider my family live there, So I love it.
Don't mind me. I'm looking off into this.
No, you're fine.
I'm trying to decide what pizza I want to get. I don't know which. Is it Little Caesars?
Yeah, you do your thing, bro.
I'm just joking. I'm trying to decide if it's Little Caesars or what's Pizza Hut when you need it. Whatever.
I would say Pizza Hut instead of Little Caesars.
If I could find, DoorDash doesn't have it. So
I mean, it's all kind of shitty. So like, Domino's is at least cheap.
I don't know. I don't like Domino's in the States. I like Domino's in Canada.
Oh, that's right. You're from Canada, right?
And it's a little different there. So
you actually notice a difference in the Domino's pizza?
I noticed differences in a few things between Canada and the States. No disrespect.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure there are differences, but like what? Like, is the crust better? Does the sauce taste better?
The wings are better. They're made a little different. And the pizza dough, like the way it's made, is a little different.
Gotcha. Yeah, I used to eat Domino's all the time because it was like 2 mediums for $5.99 each, and it was just.
Oh, that was my especially for football. Like when it was like football Sunday.
Yes.
Domino's wings and pizza was the thing in the house.
Absolutely.
Then it had to get there before the countdown. Like, when the analysts who sit there and think they know all about football, the retired football players.
Yeah.
I like watching them in the morning and living their glory days and stuff. Sorry.
No, that's right.
Reliving their glory days, and they're like talking football and then dissing all the new guys.
And you got your buddies over, and you're like, we can go drive somewhere to pick up food that's going to cost a lot of money, or for like a fraction of that price, order Domino's that will feed all of us.
Yeah, football's a thing, especially like fantasy football draft.
Yeah.
But bro, we go.
You guys go hard?
I think it's hilarious because one time I know as a comic that probably has a bit about it. I think Bill Burr or someone has a bit about it, but I just find it fascinating the emphasis we put into like fantasy football drafts. Like I'm talking, there's food,
yes,
charts,
yes.
It's not a joke. Like it's serious business. Like our phones are off. Nobody can contact us. It's a big deal.
To be fair, the draft is the most fun part of the fantasy football season.
Absolutely, and then
playing is not as fun.
It can be based on your team. If you have a good team,
yeah, it can be if you're winning.
The worst is when you let's say you have a good pick, right, and you draft the best running back, and he gets injured the first game and he's out for the season.
Yeah.
Destroys your team. Because then depending on how many people you got in your league, then you got to go to waiver wire. You got to grab someone else. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's stressful.
I'm a giant fan of football, but I never got into the fantasy until this last season. Probably just because I was I don't know if I was bored or whatever, but this last season I finally got into fantasy. All my buddies were like doing it, and they're just like, we have an extra space. Do you want to do it? I go, sure. And then I don't know what I'm doing, dude. Like first person I drafted was what's his name, Antonio Brown, who was basically like being questioned for rape, and everyone was like, "Why would you draft him first?"
You just because that's the name you knew. That's hilarious. You drafted a guy who you're not even sure if he's gonna play.
Yeah,
hilarious.
But you know what's funny? He ended up going to Tampa Bay towards the end of the season, and it actually kind of worked out. But what's your go-to move? Do you go get like the best quarterback first, or do you try to go get the best wide receivers first?
No, you have to. You have to secure either a really. I would suggest you get a running back first.
Really? Okay.
Depending on the position of where you're drafting, you always go running back or wide receiver first because they're the hardest to get. Because they make up most of your points, these running backs and wide receivers.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks, if you're in a good league, nobody's touching quarterbacks until like third or fourth round. Unless you have idiots who just want Patrick Mahomes, and because Patrick Mahomes, like he runs and he, like rushing TD, like he does a bit of everything.
Yes.
So you kind of want to snag him, but you don't like. I have assholes in my league, so he'll go second round sometimes. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
We're draft. Really, you're gonna take him second round? Whatever.
That's absolutely the fantasies that I'm in.
It's insane if you're in a league that takes a quarterback second round, but. Quarterbacks aren't touched until like third, fourth round, man.
They shouldn't.
You got to get all the receivers and running backs you can because, God forbid, your best receiver gets injured, and you're in a 12-team league. That waiver wire is gonna suck.
Yeah.
So you need to arm yourself with like receivers and running backs because they make up predominantly most of your points.
Okay, so being from Canada, who's your team?
Funny. So I've had a few teams.
Okay.
And don't judge me. I'm not a bandwagon hopper, but I'm just a fan. I used to love Peyton Manning. So whatever team he was on, I loved. So I loved the Colts. And then when he went to Denver, I was like, eh.
Yeah.
I loved Brett Favre.
Okay.
I was a Packer fan until he left.
Yeah.
And then recently I became a Saints fan. But now their team is trash. So, if I had to pick a team that I want to see win, it would probably be the Packers.
Yeah. I was kind of saying that last year because, I mean, I'm a Patriots fan, but I was saying Packers.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. But I was saying
We
Packers.
hate
I just thought they
greatness.
Yeah.
Boo greatness. Boo. They win all the time. Boo.
Well, they ain't great no more, bro.
You know what, though?
I bet you they have a good season, or at least definitely better than last.
They went and got pieces, bro. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just they got to just solve that quarterback situation, but they got good pieces, though.
Well, apparently that new kid that we picked up, Mac Jones, is apparently the future. That's what everybody's saying.
I'm going to tell you right now, your fans are going to be chanting for that guy by week 4.
I haven't. I know that, dude.
Watch.
I was just in Foxborough when I was in Boston. I went into the pro shop, and they already have a Mac helmet going for $700.
Telling you, they're going to be chanting for that because Cam's going to suck.
I think so.
And then they're going to be like, Mac Jones, Mac Jones.
Dude.
And I'm saying by week 4 to be nice.
Yeah. I was just, my buddy today was just saying that he thinks Cam won't even make it 4 games.
I said week 4 to be nice.
Yeah.
It could be as early as week 1.
Yeah, man. I'm hearing bad things already in the practice. Dude, I was just in Boston, and I probably did 5 minutes on Cam Newton just shitting on him. And the best part is they loved it. They were like, yeah, fuck that guy.
I mean, he's not. You know what? Look, man, the Cam of old, he's not there anymore, man. And he's so inaccurate with his passes.
Yes.
He can still run. He's still a beast of a man, but I feel, you know what? If Belichick's smart, like I would like almost use them, kind of like Peyton uses Tatum and Breeze, like how you use Tatum and Breeze. Like sometimes Tatum was the quarterback, sometimes Breeze was.
Yes.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah, that would be interesting if they went that direction.
I think he might have to do it because Cam's not going to win you. He's not taking you to the playoffs. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be fun if they used them.
It'd be a great story if he did. Good for him.
Yeah, and it would be smart. I could see it happen. They can use Mac. They can use what's that? You know that kid Jacoby?
Yeah,
I think it's Jacoby Myers. It's like the most I'm a lawyer name ever. Jacoby.
I'm sorry, that guy's getting injured. Okay, because that's the only guy Cam throws to. So if you don't mix it up, Cam, if you don't start switching that up, he's gonna get injured by week 2.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's so interesting
the receivers.
That you love football so much. And how did you get into
football.
that? Is it big in Canada?
No, Canada. It's hockey and basketball.
Yeah.
Mainly because Canada has teams in hockey, and they got a team in basketball, right? So they follow what they have teams in,
and they got good teams.
People love football. Yeah, people love football. Like people like football in Canada. It's not a culture like it is here.
Yeah.
In America, it's a culture. You guys tailgate.
Yes. Super Bowl, in my opinion, is a holiday.
Super Bowl is like the mecca of sporting events. Like it's one of the traditions of sporting events. You guys, I tailgated for the first time in Cleveland, and do you know what tailgating? Like we have the CFL in Canada, which is a trash league. But do you know what tailgating in Canada is? It's literally a white woman singing like Bryan Adams covers, and you could buy hot dogs. It's like a crappy carnival. It's garbage. It's not school buses.
Yeah.
It's not you guys take over our parking lot and there's like RVs and people are setting up living rooms and there's DJs. People are getting haircuts. There's women with breast all out. There's grills, ribs. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why would you even go to the game? Like it's a big party. People are getting trashed.
Yeah, why are you going to the game?
Like in some places, you could actually see the scoreboard from the parking lot. So it's like, why are you even going to the game for? Like this is way better.
And some people don't have tickets; they just go to the game to tailgate outside and party.
Dude, I couldn't see. Sometimes in a way, as much as I love America, I'm glad about America because I would be tailgating every Sunday. If I was I would be so fat.
No matter what state you were in.
Dude, I would tailgate every Sunday. I wouldn't even go to the games. The tailgate is great in certain cities. I heard some cities don't have good tailgates.
Yeah,
but Cleveland has a pretty good one.
Yeah, dude, I went to the parade when Patriots beat the Rams. 2-3 years ago?
It must have been madness.
It was mad, dude. There was a woman. I'm with my wife, but there was a woman walking around. I'm watching her from afar go up to different people going, "You want to make out? You want to make out?" And I saw her make out with probably 10 different dudes. She came up to me in front of my wife, was like, "You want to make out?" And I was like, "No." And then the dude next to me said, "Yeah." She made out with him, and then she got down on her knees and started to unzip his pants. And we were all, yeah, dude. She was just gonna blow. She was on one, just fucking. Dude, this is a parade.
So
we had to get the hell out of there. It was scary, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna root for New England this year so that I could come to the parade because clearly now I know why people. Okay, now I know why the Patriots are supposed to win.
Yeah, dude. Because little kids are calling cops. There's a lady blowing somebody over there.
Hey, whatever, children, you should be in your bed. Don't ruin it for the grown-ups.
It was madness. They climbing up. A friend of mine has a picture of him climbing up on top of that sign that says "walk or don't walk." Right, the hand was like this, and this is the time they won their 5th championship. So the hand was like this, saying "don't walk." My friend climbs on top of it, stands on top of it, and does this in front of it. Gets his picture on the cover of Patriots.com.
How happy do you have to be to show up at a parade and just start blowing people?
She was
what I mean? That's crazy, though.
Loaded on ecstasy, I think. She was on one.
Wow. Well, I don't know who I'm cheering for this year. Because I can only imagine, because there are greats, New Orleans is one of my favorite cities in America, and they're not allowed to tailgate for whatever reason. They don't tailgate, which is unreal because the way they party, I would think that tailgate would be insane.
Yeah.
But they don't tailgate. So I can only imagine what a New Orleans parade would be like.
Right.
So I'm, who knows, whatever. I know that in Canada, when we win, it's called the Grey Cup. It's not even a Super Bowl. It's a Grey Cup. and which is the Canadian horrible version of a Super Bowl. And I promise you, nobody's blowing anybody. It's literally us cheering for the floats, and we're like, "Yay, winners!" And we go home. Nobody is making out with anybody. It's legit. And then the woman singing the Bryan Adams covers comes back. So trash.
Bro, one time I was at a bar for a Super Bowl when the Patriots won. We just all got so excited. I saw my friend turn and make out with my sister, and I wasn't even mad. I was like, dude, it was a fucking good day. It was a fucking good day. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Super Bowl. Families coming over, bringing the traditional foods. It's another holiday here. And
I need to know. I need to see. I need to get invited to that. Like, I just had my first Christmas experience living in the States, and I like how the States does it up, like the cookout, July 4th. I love all that, man.
Yeah. What's Christmas like in Canada?
Depending on the family, you know. I know in Canada, Caribbeans and Africans, you're going to eat well. Okay. Italians, the Italians in Canada, you're going to eat well for Christmas. If you got a good family that, you know, like the ethnic families, you're going to eat properly. You know, if you're a traditional white, I don't know. I've never been.
What part of Canada are you from?
Toronto.
Toronto, okay. The only part I've ever been to is Vancouver, completely on the other side. But
Vancouver's dope.
Vancouver's a dope.
Cool. Vancouver's a dope city. Yeah, it's a beautiful city to look at. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. It was like it's like Seattle to me. It was a little like Seattle.
It is Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver are very similar.
Right, exactly.
Lots of rains, hills, streets. Yeah.
I was there in January of 2020. I think I was one of the first to do House of Comedy when they first opened that one.
That's a good comedy club.
They weren't even in that main theater downstairs yet.
Oh, they were upstairs.
Yeah, because it wasn't done yet.
I'm sorry.
I didn't even get to do it. As a matter of fact, I featured for Jimmy Schubert. That's how I did it. That's what I went.
Schubert. Listen, if there's a guy, not many comics can make me like laugh. You know.
Yeah.
Schubert is too much.
Yeah, he's. You know, it's like watching a Christopher Nolan movie. Like you got to watch it a second time and then you see how much detail you missed because he has little words that he throws in that you miss because you're laughing.
He's like a funny wise guy. Like he's like one of those mob guys, but you know he's like higher in rank and he's just talking, making everybody laugh. And he's like, "Come on," and then he just complains about everything. He's great to watch.
Yeah,
he was a treat. He was a treat last week, or was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Like 2 weeks ago, yeah, in Vegas.
It was a treat.
So, you were born in Toronto, like raised in Toronto,
mm-hmm.
And then like at what age did you come to the States, or like move?
I just moved to the States like last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm a newbie here, man.
What made you do it? Just like comedy career you thought was gonna be better here?
It is better here.
Right. More opportunities?
Way more opportunities, and also more stage time, better clubs. Canada's very, you know, we're going to show you who you should see. The powers that be are always like, you know what? This is who you should see. This is how comedy should be. So you're only going to see this type of comedy. It's very low ceilings, you know, so... Yeah, and I've always wanted to move to Vegas. Like Vegas is like my second home. I always came here, always performed here, and I found that every time I came to the States, I always got things like more done. You know, like every time I'm in LA, I feel like I did a lot because you meet people on top of meeting people on top of meeting people, and you connect. Same in Vegas, same in New York. It was really happening in Canada.
Yeah,
so, it was definitely a better move.
That was going to be my next question, which was why Vegas. But did you consider going anywhere else?
Mm-hmm. Well, the obvious two choices was New York and LA.
Yeah.
I hate LA's comedy scene.
Mm-hmm. Do you really?
I hate LA's comedy scene. It's too cliquey.
Yeah, it's very cliquey.
It's a serious element of fake. However, if you want to be seen, LA is the place.
Yeah.
Like if it also depends on your goals too, right? If you're trying to, write scripts and you're trying to get on television, you're trying to be seen by those people, you want to work on a sitcom, you want to write for a show, LA is ideally the place you should be. But if you really just want to deal with the grit of stand-up, if you're trying to just perfect your craft of stand-up, I think New York is definitely the better choice.
Interesting. I definitely noticed the different styles. Like if you go to New York, I noticed that the New York comics are very crowd work. Very crowd work. As where LA, they really more focus on material.
Well, New York comics think they're God's gift to comedy too. They do, and you know who they are. They walk around like because let's be honest, New York is the Mecca, right? It's the place to go.
Yeah.
And it's the who's there. They got how many clubs, loads of stage time, and
loads of stage time.
It's just so much history, and New York can change your career. It could change your life, and the right eyes can see you there. But I think it's more of the trenches. It has more of the trenches of stand up versus LA. I think LA is more about I really want to get on television, or I really want to act, or whatever, but I just think being seen is LA, and just being heard is New York.
Yeah, but you're right. LA is very cliquey. It's very like sorority groups. Like
I love people there, though. I love people there. Don't get
for
it twisted.
sure. Yeah.
I'm not shitting on LA comics, because there's obviously some tremendous dope talent there, right? But I'm not into the whole cliquey. So I feel like even, and in some cases New York's like that too. Like I remember going into the Cellar, and they made me feel like I was a nerd who walked in the wrong hallway. Like it was like, okay, listen, stop acting like you guys didn't come from that same fucking hallway.
Yep.
Like stop it. Why? Because you're here, because you're booked here now. You're supposed to, you're above everyone. Like stop that. Don't do that.
That's exactly
right.
It's just, but that's the same. That's the same feeling that you can get at the store. To be 100% honest with you, and the Improv.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
You walk into. I walked into the store, and almost based on which room you're doing, they're like, "Oh, so what are you doing? Oh, the belly room."
Yes.
You're doing.
Oh, you did.
You're doing that show.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm not doing the main room with Chappelle tonight. I'm sorry, man.
If I
apologize.
If you're on the belly room, you're better than someone who's not booked at the store at all, but you're not better than the guy who's in the main room, and that person's not better than the guy that's in the OR. And then
I've seen it by the bar, the outside bar there, where everybody congregates, and I've heard hey, so were you doing any spots tonight?
Yeah.
I'm just here hanging out. Oh, you're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all judgment, and they only ask because they probably are not doing spots too, and they wanted to hate you. Or they want to feel better about themselves.
I feel like comedy doesn't have to be that way, man. It really doesn't. I don't really care what room you're doing. Can I learn from you?
Yes.
Can your existence help me on my journey in some way? I'm not really the guy that's like, oh, so you're only doing the OR room? Okay,
yeah.
Can you point me in the direction of whoever's doing the main room, please? That's who I want to talk to. It's just like, relax, guys.
I don't agree with that either. There was this like stigma that I was exposed to early on in comedy, where it was kind of like this. I don't even know the word to describe it. Just like basically you gotta suck every comic's dick who's on a higher level than you, like, and it was all about respect. Like you gotta open doors and you gotta dump the ashtrays for them type of thing. And I'm all for putting in my dues and being respectful for the veterans and guys. But at the same time, there has to be some kind of learning, not just let this new kid pay his dues by what I mean, driving me to my gigs, and I treat him like shit. It's like there's a whole new awakening now, and I hope that more people are waking up to it. But at least maybe it's just that I keep good people close to me. That like there's so many people that they're good to comics because a comic was good to them, and then you're gonna be good to someone else. Like keep that train going. Joey Diaz was like, Rogan always took care of me, and that's why Joey Diaz always took care of me. Schubert always helped people. He helps me. You know what I mean? Schubert was one of the first people to help Sam Tripoli start getting booked, and now that Tripoli's blown up, Tripoli helps me. And, gonna do it to younger guys. I mean, I just met you this month in Vegas. You were cool as hell to me. No reason to make people feel like the outsider because they are.
I'm just not a fan of, I've had my share of treating comics like shit, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I was always a good guy, because I definitely was not.
Yeah.
But I've learned, at least especially hanging out with OGs, that this comes and goes, man. You know what I mean? And that descent coming down, because you don't stay on top forever.
Yeah.
That descent coming down, it really depends on how you treated people. It could be really quick because you were an asshole.
Yeah.
Or it could be very slow because people who know you and remember how you were to them coming up try to keep you there.
Totally.
You know?
And it may not be a hard fall. It may be a fall, but it may not be a hard one. Like, you just soft land and you're still able to have a humble career.
Yeah. So lately, I'm like, again, I'm not going to pretend I was always the good one, but I know now, like, it's just better to be nice to people, man. And plus, you don't know who you're talking to.
Yep.
You don't know who is going to be what in 2 years.
Totally.
Right? Like, I don't know. How do I know how do I know you don't become like the director of Just for Laughs? Things happen in this business.
Things happen. Positions change. People grow very fast, especially when they're talented or connected or just have the know-how. And people can grow super fast.
Yeah, and there are guys who I know who have blown up. Like, I remember, I know a few actors who have gone on to do great things, starring in really big movies. And and when I see them, they remember. They're like, "Hey, man, I remember when we used to do mics together, and you were always so nice to me. You weren't so mean, and like some of the other people. People remember, man. People are always going to remember how you made them feel, man. So,
yeah.
I just try my best not to be a dick, because I've been the feature for a shitty headliner. I've gone on the road and had to share a condo with a horrible headliner who's just mean. And I'm like, I vowed I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not going to be that guy. I want to be nice.
Just treat people with respect, man. Like, I'm not as seasoned as you, and you're on a level higher than me, but we're both equals as far as human beings. And people
we're both getting.
People should be treated like human beings.
We're both getting $12 at the Laugh Factory, buddy. Like, I don't see why. We're both getting $12 checks, man. Okay, you need to relax.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that your $12 check is. You might not need yours, but that doesn't mean you're better than me, man. Like, at the end of the day, I've seen, like, I've met those Chappelles of the world, and I see how he treats people, and I'm like, if a guy that big, on that level can be, even Bill Burr, like, I've met him, and he was such a nice dude. Like, he was such a comic,
Yeah.
And if those guys can treat people with respect, then who am I to go around being a dick to people?
Exactly. Yeah, man. I would go down to the store all the time, and, like, depending who I was with, I was with I walk in there with Joey D, so everybody knows he's my friend, and everybody would, like, they love you. Oh, hey, man, giving you hugs. Haven't seen you.
Oh, the fake ones, yeah, fake hugs, because they figure you could do something for them. But it's funny how I got my first taste of that. I remember when I first went to LA, Tommy was running the store.
Oh, man.
And I remember I just went up to him humble, like, "Hey, I'm this kid from Canada, and I'm new around here. I don't know how things work. Tell me how they work. Like, what do I got to do? Do I got to line up and do 3-minute set? Like, what do I got to do? I'm down to do whatever I got to do to work my ranks up." And he was so dismissive and just so like, "Look, man, you're like a needle in a haystack." Like, he gave me this horrible speech. And then a famous comic who I knew, I'm not going to mention names, comes and puts his arm around me. He's like, hey, Trixx, tell me, my buddy Trixx, he's from Toronto, he's my buddy. And I don't know if the comic was just doing it because he heard how I was being treated.
Yeah.
But we weren't buddies like that. But, it was just kind of, I just went with it. and I remember I just remember the switch. I remember the hey, well, why didn't you say you knew this guy? And I'm standing there going, in my head, I'm like, I didn't realize I had to. Like, I thought,
yeah.
What
kind of a douchebag walks in and goes, I know this guy, right? Like,
I'm like, I'm not going to pull cards. And like, at the same time, I was like, I didn't come up to you and say I want a headline, man. I didn't say that. I was like, what process is it? Is it calling in to get shitty amateur spots? Like, I know how it works.
Line? Yeah.
I don't mind. I go, just tell me what I have to do.
Yeah, I've done it all before.
But then as soon as this guy, puts his arm around me, it turned into, you know what? Hey, just pop in, during the week, and I'll toss you spots. And I was like, wow. Just because this guy, I didn't argue in any way. I was just kind of like, that's when I started to see the fakeness in the business. I was like, that man, just 2 seconds ago, I was nothing to you. Now all of a sudden, I get spots. I bypass the amateurs that have to line up just like that because I know this guy. All right, man.
And if you were a professional, you wouldn't approach him that way. You wouldn't approach him with, I'm friends with this guy. Because that would be a sign that you're not a professional. I wouldn't trust that person. I wouldn't book that person. I would book... You know that if someone refers you, they call you to refer you. You don't...
Yeah, and you let them talk. If I know
you don't
Louis
show up
C.K.,
and say, so-and-so referred me. You're like, oh, really? Why didn't he call me?
Yeah, if I know Louis C.K. or Chappelle or whoever, or Chris Rock, you better believe I'm going to be standing behind Chris Rock. Let Chris Rock do all the talking, man. I'm not going to come up and I'm going to walk into an iconic building like the Comedy Store, a place as a kid from Canada, and be like, "Hi, who do I talk to? Because I know Joe Rogan. So, when am I on?" Kind of attitude. Yeah. I've never been that guy, man. I don't mind paying dues. I know my skills on stage speak for themselves, so I don't need to. I don't mind paying the dues. I don't care if you need to feature me in a club. I don't care if you need to maybe a host. I'll do that. If I know it leads to somewhere, I'll do it.
Right.
I don't need to be
you're going to not be in the room and not even watch me,
No, but yeah, don't do that to me. Don't give me a guest spot and then be in your office.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And then my existence in your club relies on which waitress was in the room watching the set.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. That's the perils of this business. A lot of people didn't like Tommy, from what I heard. I don't have too much of a rapport with him, but from what I heard,
I'm sure a lot of people don't like a lot of people in positions of power, right? Yeah. Like I'm sure a lot of people didn't like Mitzi. Mm-hmm. I'm sure a lot of people don't like Jamie Masala. Anyone that's in a position of power. In great venues, I'm sure because they got to be assholes. They have to be. They can't be
an
nice.
Asshole.
You have to be an asshole when you especially when you run those clubs.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there were things said about those guys. I only could go by how I was treated by those people.
Right. Of course. Yeah. I was a manager and booking a comedy club out here for like maybe the first 4 or 5 years of me doing comedy.
Were you?
Yeah.
Which club?
The Haha.
Were you?
Yeah.
You were. So were you working? You work with Jack?
Oh yeah, dude! I knew Jack Jr. before he did comedy. He was just the owner's son that would constantly hang out, and we were great friends that party together. And then one day he did comedy, and
interesting.
But I had to be so mean to people and so aggressive because people would so aggressively be pushy and like put me on, or you know what I mean. They show up in open mics and be like, I need to go somewhere, so you got to put me on first. And like who are you to bump people? Like I would have to just shut people down and keep law and order, if you will.
You have to.
But so much to hundreds of comics that like some of them never stuck with it, some of them did, and throughout my career I would bump into somebody at a comedy club and they would be like, they would hate me and I would have no idea why. And they're like, years ago you were a dick to me, and I was like, dude, I don't even remember that. Like, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It wasn't my club where I could do that.
I was also the manager, I was also the manager of a comedy club, man. Unfortunately, I can't be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm being a dick on purpose, but unfortunately, I can't let certain things. I'm not a comic in this situation.
Yeah.
I can't hook up all my friends.
Right.
You got to run. You have to set a precedence. You have to. Jack has to be an asshole sometimes, but he also remembers that he's also a comic, so he can't. He knows his line.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm sure he has to say no to certain people when he has to say no to people.
Yes.
But he could do it. But there's a way to do it respectfully. Where even that comic may not like hearing it, but he'll be like, you know what, okay. I guess I can respect.
Take the time, break it down, and explain the reasoning. And also, Jack kind of can do something in a funny way to make you not feel too bad too. You
Oh,
know?
I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen
I've seen him say no in a comedic way where, I mean, it's hard for you to get mad, but
Yeah.
you know,
I've heard
you
him go like, "Really? Because you bombed last night?"
That's a pretty good Jack impression. That's a pretty good Jack impression, bro.
Yeah. So.
So I know that's why I know you've been around him long. That's
yeah.
too good.
Oh yeah, dude. I was 20 years old when I met Jack Jr. and I'm 33 now.
He's a great dude. Jackson is a good dude. He's him, and I love Terry. I mean, I love I love haha. You know.
Yeah, it wasn't my club. Like, I wasn't the owner. You know what I mean? Like, I had to answer to somebody if I threw up somebody that would bomb, or the owner told me don't put up just these amateurs on this particular night, you know, and stuff like that.
I like how old school haha looks too. Like I love vintage looking clubs.
Yes.
I love clubs that maintain their essence from when they were built.
The brick
I love
wall,
that.
the low ceiling,
the neon lighting, all that. Obviously the pictures.
Well, did you ever see the original haha?
No.
Did you hear about it? You knew there was one, right?
I heard stories. Yeah, I heard stories, but I've never seen it.
So when I worked there, it was at the old one, and they've only been in the new one, maybe 4 or 5 years now, I feel like.
Really? It's that new?
Yeah. You could drive down the street and see the old one. I think it's been under construction for like 2 years. I think they're trying to do like a restaurant or something now, but the old one was even better, bro. Smaller, more intimate, lower ceiling, smaller stage.
That's
it was
what I
just grindy.
And then, isn't there another club across from them now?
So now across from the new one, sort of across from it, is like Comedy Chateau, but I haven't gone in there.
I've seen it in passing. I haven't gone in there out of respect for.
Same exact thing. I've had people offer me spots, and I just don't want to go there. And I ain't mad at you for trying to make a living and start a business and start a comedy club, but there's really no class to do it across the street from another comedy club. There really is no class in it. And
it's also a person who I heard used to work or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't even know the guy.
I'm not into the vendetta. Vendetta build. You know?
But out of respect, I'm not going to go in there.
If they kiss the ring, like, you know, if that was the only place to open it and you want to kiss the ring, there's ways to do it. But I heard it wasn't really. I don't want to get into it, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever, man. But hey, you know, I'm glad things are open.
Kudos to both clubs.
What's that?
Kudos to both clubs. Like, I mean, I'm not mad at comedy clubs open at this point. You know.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
We're about to head to another lockdown.
I was like a little. I mean, 20 years old to me now feels like a little kid. I was a kid, and basically grew up around, like, becoming a man around Jack's dad, Jack Senior, and he, if you know what, man, he definitely instilled a lot of business ethic and work ethic into me that I feel like a lot of my hustle came from. What's crazy is that he used to say all the time. He would say, "You've met him, right?"
I met him once.
Okay.
Met him once, yeah.
So he would say all the time, he would be like, if somebody comes and opens a comedy club across the street from my comedy club, I will still survive. It will not affect
You know
me.
what, though? That's a G, though. That's a G talking to you like that, though.
He used to say that 12 years ago. 12 years ago.
That's a G talking to you like that. That's the man who knows his corner.
And 12 years later, someone opened a comedy club across the street from him.
And he's laughing. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I like that mom and pops feel comedy club.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not mad at the these bigger A rooms and, you know, the theater looking improvs.
Everything serves its own purpose.
Yeah. And I'm thankful for places like haha.
They still make me feel like family when I go in there, and you know, I'm thankful for everything anybody's ever given me. Any
opportunity. I was going to ask you that. Like, I was going to ask you, like, are you still good with the? Yes,
I'm still good with them. Towards like me leaving employment, we had some bad blood, and then we never got along so well as when I didn't work for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, I had Christmases with them. I used to go to Jack and Terry's house and help them, you know, move furniture and clean it, put their Christmas decorations up. Like Jack, Jack was like a big brother.
You were like a bro.
Yeah. But I'm glad that the relationship I have with them now, I walk in there, they're happy to see me, and you know, everything's cool. Keep the peace, man. There's too much hate in the world already.
Yeah, you know, it's easier said than done, brother. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's better to just be on the positive side of things, you know.
Easier said than done, but you can only control what you do, and I try to
Yep.
do my best to just be a good person to everybody and spread love, and hate don't hurt, hate don't cure hate. You know what I mean? So
He doesn't.
that's what I always try to do. What do you got going on? Do you got shows coming up? You want some? Where are you going to be next?
Yeah, I leave tomorrow for Little Rock. I'm at Looney Bin, Little Rock, Arkansas, and then I come back, change out the suitcase, and then go to Tacoma for Nate Jackson's super funny comedy club,
Oh, nice.
and then I go to Canada, which I'm excited about. Go to Canada, do shows at home. Then I'm doing a special in New York next month. So yeah,
Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it, man. And I'm just trying to keep busy, dude. Especially before this impending shutdown comes. I'm trying to just
Get it all
get
done
in
first.
as many reps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
get as many
up
reps as I
that
can.
special recording a little.
Yeah, I need to be able to. I want to save up for a PS5 because I feel like I'm going to need one. Come Christmas, we're going to be back in our houses.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope that we can still just go out and entertain. It was a pretty dark time, but yeah, everybody, make sure you guys go see Trixx. You can follow him. Your Instagram it's Trixx. Is it Trixx Comedian?
No, it's comedian Tricks with two
Comedian
X's.
Trixx, 2 X's.
Comedian Tricks.
Comedian Trixx. You can see him Little Rock, Arkansas. And then after that, what'd you say?
Tacoma, Washington,
Tacoma.
right after him.
And
Yeah.
stay tuned on his Instagram so you guys know where his special is going and stuff. Because I've only heard great things about you before I met you. I've seen your stuff before, and then I got to watch you do just barely a guest set in Vegas. And you're a phenomenal, good writer. You can tell a real, true comic, and not to mention
I appreciate it, man.
absolutely. I appreciate you being very welcoming to me and being very nice to me and my wife and making me feel right at home in Vegas when I was there. And you're just a solid dude, bro. So I really appreciate it. And thanks, dude. You're leaving town tomorrow and you're spending
Yeah.
your last night with me. I appreciate your time.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. What is it? What time is it? Where you at? LA?
Oh, we're on the same time zone, 7:43
Oh,
p.m.
we're good. Yeah. So it's
Yeah, exactly. And then I have I do 2 episodes a week, so I have another guest after you at 8:30. So I'm just gonna take a little break, maybe get a bite to eat, and do another
Oh,
podcast.
cool. Who is it?
I have.
Do I know them?
I don't. It's not a. Well, I was gonna say it's not a comic, but I feel like she was a comic at one point. It's a woman named Elizabeth Wheat who is actually a therapist. She ended up becoming a therapist, and now she calls herself the comedy therapist. And I think that she helps comedians with mental health and stuff like that. So
There we go.
yeah, I'm gonna have her on next, and that'll be out later in the week. So thank you so much,
Cool.
dude. I really appreciate you coming on. You can go ahead and log off whenever you want. I'm just gonna do some outros and plug my dates and stuff like that. Thank you, dude. You're the best. I
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you, man. Thank you so much,
No
bro.
problem. I'll see you
Stay
soon.
in touch.
I hope. Absolutely.
Cool.
All right. Thank you guys so much. That was Trixx. It was great to have him on. I've heard a lot about him, so it was great to finally meet him in Vegas. He's cool as hell. And thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I would like to give everybody a quick reminder. Once again, thank you if you came out to the show in Boston or excuse me, Millbury, Massachusetts this last weekend. Really cool people that I met. They were super supportive at the show. We had a lot of fun, and I would appreciate it if anybody wanted to support my tour, Only Love Can Save the World tour, or support, it just helps pay for air travel of all the comedians and stuff like that. If you guys could, because I do treat comics well, I try to, pay them what they're worth if I can, and it's just hard right now. A lot of venues don't give you travel expenses, so if you could pick up a t-shirt, all that money goes to help pay for the travel expenses of the comedians, and the t-shirt is The Only Love Can Save the World, and on the back it's The Only Love Can Save the World tour with all the tour dates. So if you were at a show or plan on being at a show, it's a great souvenir, and it's a great way to support live stand-up comedy, bringing laughter to different cities. And if you want to catch me next, I will be in Maui, Hawaii. Okay, I'm going to be doing a place called it's called the Playground Maui. It's DA Playground Maui, and I'm there September 20th. And then after that, I will be in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm performing at a brewery called Backswing Brewery. So far, I've had a really good rapport with this venue, and I'm super excited. And from what I've heard, it's just a great town. Never been there. Very excited. Great town to perform in. I'm going to go to a Huskers game the day after. So on the 8th is my show. The 9th, I go to a Huskers game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see you guys there. And then after that, I'm doing the Oil Dorado Festival in Taft, California. That's October 13th. All of this, dates, information, links to buy tickets is at my website, homesschooledpod.com or augustinocomedian.com, homesschooledpod.com. Click on tour, or you can click on merch for the t-shirts. I'm also here to talk to anybody that needs help with comedy or questions, or if you're thinking about starting, or advice, or you're struggling. If you're any type of artist, not just comedy, and you're struggling with anything mental health, these lockdowns, the life, you can click on contact, and those messages come directly to me, and I do my best to answer them as soon as I can. And I got mental health issues problems too, so I don't mind talking to somebody, because I've either been through it, or I'm going through it, or I also need someone to talk to. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and I want to give a big thank you to Trixx for being here today. I want to give a big thank you to all of you who continue to support Homeschool Podcast or are trying us out for the first time. I'm sorry that I've only been releasing the last 2 weeks. I've only released one a week just because of my schedule. I've been on the road, but it's so great to be back in this chair and be sitting with you guys and doing this. I'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. I sure could use it. Augustino Zoida is my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe there. All these videos go there. Please do me a personal favor and never forget that only love can save the world. I'm Augustino Zoida. Peace. This is Homeschooled Podcast. Peace out, guys. Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschool.
The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
No, okay.
I don't want to do that at all.